Our next presenter is Bill Franz. He has started a Facebook page that has become very popular. It's called Dayton at Work and Play, and it features photographs. How many people here follow it? Raise your hands. I just heard about it today for the first time. I can't wait to see this. He's going to tell us about that and the pictures that he takes. Bill?
So I started this Facebook page called Dayton at Work and Play. This is the first post I put up. The purpose is to show that the place we live in is beautiful and interesting. And today I'd like to talk about how I decide what to photograph for the page. I took this photo at Wegersen. Other photographers told me that was a good place to go. And I've gotten a lot of tips from other photographers about where to photograph. It's pretty easy to do. You just go online and Google good Dayton photo sites, and you get people talking to you about where you ought to go, and you get a chance to look at their pictures. They send you to places like this, Hills and Dales Metro Park, and that's a shot I took there last winter. Another place they sent me was the sunflower field at Yellow Springs. I went there one September a few years ago, and I go back every September. It's amazing. You meet the people that have traveled 200 miles to take photographs of this field. So if you haven't been there in September, it really ought to be one of your stops. I was also started going, because photographers told me to more of the downtown festivals. Yeah. You know, they're free, they're lots of fun, and there's great photo ops. Now that's the Celtic Festival, people floating in midair. I also get a lot of photos from the projects that I work on. When I started to retire, I started to take pictures for the Humane Society, trying to get better photos up on the website. The idea that better photos lead to more adoptions. And I had more fun doing this, the idea of doing something you enjoy doing and then putting it to work immediately. It was something I really enjoyed and I wanted to do more of, so I started looking for more places to be a volunteer photographer, and all of those photos, the good ones, find their way onto my Facebook page. So I took this for the Boy Scouts at one of their ceremonies, and then it ends up as a photo on Dayton at Work and Play. That's retiring the old flags. I took this for the Wegersen Foundation. The nice thing about being a volunteer photographer is you get to take pictures other people don't get to. So they got a lift to put me about 40 feet up in the air so I could get the right angle on that installation. That's the Patrick Doherty's installation that was there for 2 years. Then I took photos for the UD women's basketball team. So that ends up in their programs. It ends up on some of the walls of some of their offices, and then also on my Facebook page. Now, everything I do isn't planned. In fact, some of the best pictures aren't. I was just walking around Art in the Commons, taking some photos, and all of a sudden, music starts. This group of dancers forms up, and I just happen to be in the right place with a camera. And then when the music stops, they disperse back into the crowd. Yeah, a flash mob, right. And now that I've got the Facebook page up, Dayton at Work and Play, some of the people that watch that page are suggesting where I should go and take photos. So I'd never been to Bonnet's bookstore, but I'm awful glad somebody told me about it, and I'm glad I had a camera when I walked in. Another person that follows the Facebook page is a rower. She told me about this regatta every summer 1,000 athletes from all over the Midwest come to Dayton and compete. She told me, in fact, she told me where to go for the best pictures. Somebody told me, one of the people that follows the page, that there is a Buddhist meditation temple in Huber Heights. I didn't know that, but I Googled it, found the address, drove up and rang the doorbell, and they're delightful people. And I hope I'm going to get invited back for a wedding at that same temple to take pictures. If it wasn't for somebody that follows the page, I wouldn't have known there was every Saturday night a rodeo near Dayton. It's neat. This project I'm doing is kind of teaching me to understand the town I've been living in for the last 40 years. Now, another person that follows the page suggested to me that I should go to Winans, a candy factory up in Piqua. And he also suggested to the owner of Winans Candy Factory that he ought to let me in with a camera. So that's really going the extra mile. That picture before was Clara, and that's Clara again on the left. Clara started making candy when she was in her 30s. She's 82 and still making Winans candy. If you go into one of the Winans stores, yes, you go into one of their stores, you can buy Clara's candy. They named one after her. Somebody else suggested I should go to the Michoacana Mexican market. Really neat place. It's a grocery store, it's a meat market, and a great Mexican restaurant all in one building. Troy Pike, right? That's Guadalupe. She was the cook the day that I went there to eat the first time. Now, I hope you've enjoyed these few pictures. I hope you'll go to the Facebook page, Dayton at Work and Play, see some more. More importantly, I hope you give me more ideas for things I should photograph to show that Dayton's an interesting and a beautiful place.